So you're probably looked at the title of this video and said, there's no way that's true. I know for a fact that's not true. Jen Psaki came out a couple weeks ago and straight up admitted that the Biden administration is working with social media providers, Facebook, Twitter, Google, etc., to censor information. So what am I talking about when I say the government doesn't censor information? That's not what the title says. The title says the government doesn't censor false information. Now, before I get into this video, I'd like to tell you that I am banned from Facebook. I get banned from Facebook all the time for posting memes. So if you guys can do me a favor and share this video, that really will help me out. All right, so the government does not censor false information. In general, you don't have to censor false information. Yes, I know there are people who say that a lie travels around the world 4 times before the truth even puts its socks on. That may have been true in the past, but that's not true anymore. We live in the internet age. And when it comes down to it, Aldous Huxley was right. George Orwell less so. George Orwell said that information would be controlled so tightly that it would be hard to actually get facts. That is not actually true. What it is we're more akin to what Aldous Huxley predicted. Aldous Huxley predicted that there would be so much information. We would have so much information at our disposal that we wouldn't know how to discern fact from fiction. And that is much more of what we have today. We are in the internet age. Getting information out there is really easy. So the government does not censor false information. It doesn't have to. On the right, we like to say that sunlight is the best disinfectant. The counter to a bad idea is not censorship. The counter to a bad idea is a good idea. In that same vein, the counter to false information, the counter to misinformation is true information. So if you have misinformation, if you have false information, you don't censor that out. What you do is you prop up information that counters that false information. And we can actually see this. I can use 2 examples, one from the left, one from the right, to be balanced here. Let's start with the right. Donald Trump liked to say that the fake news media is the enemy of the people. Now, the media likes to say, he said, oh, the media is the enemy of the people. No, that's not what he said. He said the fake news media is the enemy of the people. And if you're in the media and you think that's an attack on you, you are tacitly admitting that you are fake news. Anyways, Donald Trump said fake news is the enemy of the people, but he didn't censor the fake news. No, he let them have their platform. He didn't work with the social media companies to censor fake news. No, not at all. Instead, he had Kayleigh Mack come out every day for her daily press beatings. She had her binder. She let them say what she wanted, that she'd open up her binder and whip their asses for 2 straight hours every day. You know? They want to spout out false information. She counteracted with true information. Now let's talk about how the left does it. The left does it. Jen Psaki comes out, says they're censoring information. Now, the left doesn't need to censor misinformation. Let's look at one thing they propped up, and that was QAnon. I don't know any Trump supporters that support QAnon. Maybe they did one time 3 years ago, but not in a long time. You can go read Patriots.win today. You can go back to the archives, back when we were the Donald.win. You can go back to when we were still on Reddit 2 to 3 years ago and see when someone mentions QAnon. Nobody supported these people. We all piled on and said, go away, fuck off with your Sean Hannity TikTok LARPing bullshit. Nobody buys this crap. We're not going to trust the plan. You know, this stuff was roundly rejected even years ago in the Donald community. And by the time that the media started coming along saying, oh, look at these conspiracy theories, these QAnon people, these crazy psychopaths, we had already moved on and denounced all those people. We never trusted QAnon. Well, I won't say never. Maybe we did, like I said, 2 to 3 years ago, but long before the media ever said we supported them. Because we saw it as a LARP, and we moved on. Now, if QAnon was actually false information, wouldn't you prop it up That's what the media did. So the media propped up QAnon so that they can say, see, look at these conspiracy theorists. Look at this crazy shit that they're talking about. Joe Biden had a town hall last week. And rather than refute anything that anybody says, he created a straw man. He said, oh, these Republicans are saying that we are drinking the blood of children. Nobody said that. What the hell are you talking about? Okay, some people said it, but nobody said it at that town hall. Where did you come up with it? Why did you bring the straw man out of nowhere? And that's what they do. When you have something that is false, something that is easily refutable, although you can't easily refute it, it's just a completely outlandish idea. When you have something that is so completely outlandish, you don't censor it. You embrace it so that you can use it as a straw man argument to attack your enemies. And that's what government does. Government does not censor false information. Government props up false information because they can use it as a cudgel against their enemies. So if the government is not censoring false information, what are they censoring? Well, I think I've already answered that. If a government works on propaganda, all governments do, good governments as well as bad governments. That's what a press secretary does. A press secretary is a minister of propaganda. They are there to bend information around what their administration wants the public to see. If it's good, if it's bad, irrelevant. No matter what, it's propaganda. So when they censor, they're not censoring anything that is false. They're censoring the true facts that counteract their propaganda. Because when it comes down to it, as I said before, how do you counter bad ideas? With good ideas. So if you have a bad idea and you're trying to prop this up, you cannot allow a good idea to creep into the space, because the good idea will eventually outshine the bad idea, because good ideas rise to the top. So the only way to maintain a lie is to actively fight against the truth. So when you see a government censoring anything, it is never a lie. Governments do not censor lies, because lies can be refuted very easily. And you want to embrace and prop up these lies so that you can say you have a win against your enemies who are lying. No, you have to censor the truth, because the truth is the only thing that counteracts the lies that you want to push. So when you see a government talking about censorship, it is always to censor the truth. So when you see the government censoring anything, that's a signal. The government wants to censor something like ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine or anything like that. Or let's see, what is the big one they're censoring right now? Antibody-dependent enhancement. That's the big one that they're censoring right now. Anytime you see the government censoring something, that's the signal that you should be looking at that, because that's the thing that maybe that's the truth. Maybe if they don't want this to get out, you should be asking yourself, why? Someone is, no matter what, anytime you deal with anybody, they're trying to sell you something, good or bad. Someone that you're friends with, someone that's your enemy, no matter what, it's always, what are you buying? What are you selling? So if they're trying to sell you something, ask yourself, why? What are they selling? What are they preventing you from buying? That is how all exchange works. Somebody has something to gain, and usually that's at the expense of something else. You need to figure out what that something else is, and then determine for yourself which route you want to go. Do not allow the government to censor anything, because they will always censor truth. Anyways, that's what I wanted to keep on with this video. As I said before, I am banned from Facebook for sharing memes, because comedy is a weapon, and they know it, so they want to cancel out comedy. The left is the death of comedy. So if you can do me a favor, share the video, do all the things that the algorithms like. Peace out, guys. See you next week.